Hi, everybody. My name is Erica. Today I am going to do a presentation on an analysis of Samsung and international business strategy. Let's go ahead and an introduction to Samsung. Well, Samsung was founded in 1938 in South Korea. The headquarters is stationed in Seoul, South Korea. The core business areas is electronics, semiconductors, telecommunications, and home appliances. Some of the key facts and figures on Samsung is that their revenue is $240.71 billion, and that was just in 2022. Their global presence, they actually operate in over 80 countries. Their market share is that they're the leading position in smartphones, TVs, and memory chips. So understanding domestic strategy, as we had discussed in our international business course, the definition and their key elements, right, is that domestic strategy focuses on the home market. So in this case, this would be South Korea. Their key elements is innovation-driven approach. They have a strong emphasis on research and development and product development. Samsung's domestic strategy, which is their market dominance in South Korea, their extensive research and development in South Korea. They've also had partnerships with local suppliers and businesses all over. So to understand their international strategy portion is that their strategy is that they have expansion into global markets. Their adaptation to local market needs and preferences is some of their key elements. Their strategic alliances and partnerships are one of the core elements to their business strategy. So Samsung's international strategy is that they have localized all of their products and services. Their strategic acquisitions have been in their country, which is South Korea. So if we also want to compare some of their domestic and international strategies, we could go ahead and look at some of their similarities. Their similarities are the core value of their innovation and their quality. They emphasize on customer satisfaction. In this case, I am a Samsung user, and their innovation and that the innovation that they have developed through their electronics, through their software programs is very highly innovative. Their differences is domestic strategy. They focus on R&D and local partnerships. Their international strategy is that their market adoption, their strategic alliances, and their global expansion. So, and then next is their gouging cost and their benefits and the risk in foreign markets, right? So just like any global businesses, we are going to come across costs, benefits, risk in that particular country. So some of the challenges for managers is the complexity and uncertainty that we always know that's going to be there, right? And then also the lack of local knowledge. In order to do business in different countries, you have to have some type of knowledge in that particular country. So therefore, you can connect with your consumers, you can connect with your business partners, right? And then also another is their resource allocation, right? Where all the resources you're going to be getting by investing in a particular country. Their their risk assessment as well. The risk assessment is what are we going to be dealing with? What are some of the political, what are some of the community risk that are going to be involved. And last of all is their regulatory compliances that they have. So we all know in global businesses that you have to comply with their with compliances in each country, and each country has their own um, has their own um, policies that are in place when doing business with a particular country. Some factors making it easier, of course, are always globalizations and technology, availability of market research, experience and expertise, right? So those are some of the factors that make it easier. So if you kind of already have people who are in these tiers, it's much easier to develop um, a business a business partner, a business relationship in this particular market or in this particular country. Next, Samsung. Um, so one of the things that Samsung did was is their entry into the Indian market, right? Their gouging costs, their production costs, local manufacturing facilities that they had to look at when they wanted to enter into the market in the Middle East, right? The logistics, we have to look at the logistics of what effective supply chain networks that they had to look at in order to be successful, in order to produce these products. And then gouging benefits that they have, their market potential, whether it's large and growing population, right? So when you enter into a country, you have to look at not just the environment, but also the growing population. Is this a population where you're going to have a lot of consumer users for the products, right? And also, you have to look at the revenue growth, which is targeted towards affordability products, right? We know that a lot of these foreign developed countries, they don't have the the funds to afford some of these products. So how are we supposed to target some of these in some of these countries that can barely afford food, can barely afford shelter, right? Let alone have to afford a cell phone such as um, uh, the Galaxy, right? The Galaxy is very innovative right now. It's a lot of people are using the Galaxy S22, the new one that just came out, Samsung Galaxy 24. Now we also have to look at the gouging risk, the political and economic risks that we're going to be taking, monitoring and responding to changes, right? Those are all the things that we have to look at when we're assessing these risks. And then cultural differences, adapting the marketing strategy, right? We have to see what the cultural differences that these countries have, because if we can't see the cultural side of their market, how are we going to get consumers to buy the products, right? So therefore, that'll take us into effective strategies. So what are some of the effective strategies that we would have to look at? Well, first of all, we have to look at localization, tailoring the consumer to the Indian market, right? Partnerships. We have to look at collaborating with the local retailers to buy our products and to resell those to the consumers in that particular country, because they have more they have more connection with their consumers than we would have, right? And then also our marketing campaign, right? We have to look at how we are going to sell this to the Indian country or to that particular country in the Middle East. So those are just some of the things that Samsung had to look at in order to enter into their market. Next, we're going to look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of joint ventures, right? The advantages is that we have shared resources, combine experts and technology, local experts, risk sharing, enhance innovation. So those are some of the things that are an advantage for Samsung. But some of the disadvantages is the control issues, conflicts in decision makings, right? Cultural classes, differences in corporate culture, complexity, legal and operational challenges, limited flexibility, less responsive to market challenges. And of course, we also have the advantages and disadvantages of other strategic alliances. Advantages, of course, is always that flexibility, easier to form and dissolve, speed, faster market entry, focus on core competence, specializations, and efficiency, lower commitment, right? It's easier to manage. The disadvantages is limited integration, less cohesive strategy, risk of opportunism, potential for trust issues, potential for misalignment, differences in goals, resource allocation, imbalance contribution. Samsung uses joint ventures. Reason for using joint ventures is they have access to local markets, access and knowledge, resource sharing. They have enhanced innovation and production, risk mitigation, strategic sharing of investments, right? Reasons for non-predominantly using joint ventures. That will be the control and autonomy, maintaining strategic control, strategic flexibility, quick adaptation to changes, focuses on core competence, leveraging which is their strength. So some of the arguments that we would say for Samsung's focus on innovation and research and development investments is competitive advantage, technological leadership, product differentiation, market expansion, which leaves us with new market opportunities and global reach. We also have their financial performances. We have the revenue growth. We have a long-term sustainability. We have the brand reputation, their industry leadership, consumer trust. So those are some of the brand reputation that Samsung holds. And then we also have talent attraction and retention, attracting top talent, employee engagement. So those are some of the arguments that Samsung has to focus on their innovation. We also have high costs, which is significant financial investment, uncertain returns, market risk, which comes down to consumer acceptances, competitive pressure, operational challenges, complexity in executing focus diversions, right? So therefore, in conclusion, the argument for this decision is that the benefits of fostering innovation outweigh the disadvantage, right? And this is because we are maintaining a competitive edge and a market presence all over. It's a global presence. And it also aligns with Samsung's vision of leading future technology, right? That's what we're looking for. And then here we have our profit and loss for Samsung, and they are in the billions that they make every year. We've also have some of the news here on Samsung, right? Samsung has new innovation every day. They have new, we're taking home all these different things. We have the do the smart things, right? Um, it's just so many, it's just so many innovation that Samsung has created over the past decade, right? And then that leaves us with our conclusion on our analysis for international business strategy.